What's up guys, this is a completely honest review of Poco M5 smartphone, because I bought it for my money on AliExpress. As you can see, I was able to buy it for $127 at the start of sales. Now it costs about $149, so this is a budget smartphone, but it has very good specifications, such as 90Hz Full HD Plus display, a Dimensity G99 processor, 50MP camera, and 5000 mAh power battery. You know, Poco M5 looks like the best gaming smartphone under $150 because it has a good performance and high refresh rate display. We will run benchmarks and play games in this video, but also we will test camera, battery, speaker, connectivity, etc. By the way, you can use the timecodes in description under the video. Okay, please hit the like button to this video, and let's start the review with unboxing. Like the other Poco phones, the new Poco M5 comes in a yellow box. I have a model with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage, but you can choose a version with 6GB of RAM and 128GB of internal memory. It should be even more powerful. Inside the box, there is a smartphone, silicon protective case, user manual, USB Type-C cable, and 22.5-watt power adapter. However, Poco M5 supports only 18-watt fast charging. We will test charging time and battery life of the new smartphone later in this video. You know, Poco is a Xiaomi sub-brand for young people, and that's why all Poco smartphones have an attractive design. In case of Poco M5, the rear panel has a leather-like texture. It looks very interesting and even a little premium. There is also a glossy plastic on the back with a triple camera, flashlight, and Poco logo. By the way, the Chinese company says that the rear panel is a strain resistant, but the black glossy panel still leaves the fingerprints. The side frames are made of plastic. There is a SIM and memory card slot on the left side, while a volume rocker and power button are on the right side. By the way, a fingerprint reader is installed in the power button. You may not notice it right away, because the button has no texture like the other smartphones. Poco M5 has a microphone hole, USB Type-C port, and a speaker at the bottom. There is even a 3.5mm audio jack and IR blaster at the top. You know, I haven't seen a 3.5mm audio jack in smartphones in a long time. Do you think it is still necessary in 2022? Write in the comments below. Before talking about the screen, I want to say that Poco M5 is available in yellow, green, and black colors. The yellow version looks very appealing to young people, doesn't it? By the way, the dimensions of the new Poco smartphone are 164 by 76.1 by 8.9mm. The weight is 202 grams. Now let's talk about display of Poco M5. First, we can see a water drop notch above the screen, but it is very small. The notch is almost the same size as the front camera. The bezels on the sides of the screen, as well as on the top, are also very small. The bottom bezel is a little bigger, but not by much. The display diagonal is 6.58 inches and resolution is Full HD Plus 2408 by 1080 pixels. You know, one of the main features of Poco M5 is 90Hz screen refresh rate. You can choose 60 and 90Hz in the display settings. You should also know that a standard refresh rate saves the battery, so it is better to turn on a high refresh rate while playing games. And there are also some other useful display functions in the settings menu, such as reading mode, brightness level, automatic brightness, and even sunlight mode. If we start talking about settings, Poco M5 smartphone runs on Android 12 operating system with MIUI 13.0.2 user interface. This is the latest version for my smartphone. However, there are many updates available for system apps such as music, Poco Launcher, themes, casting, and others. In the security status menu, you can enable Find Device, as well as check the latest security update and Google Play Protect. We will talk about connectivity, including SIM cards and mobile network, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and other connections later in this video. Poco M5 has a Poco Launcher by default, and there are no other launchers available, but I think you can download them from the Google Play Store. You can also change settings for app drawer, such as app suggestions, manage app categories, backgrounds, scroll bar, etc. Like the other Xiaomi and Poco phones, the new Poco M5 has a market of themes, wallpapers, ringtones, and fonts. Most of them are free. In the password and security menu, you can add the screen lock, fingerprint unlock, face unlock, and unlock with Bluetooth device. In the battery menu, we can see a remaining battery life, and we can turn on/off battery saver mode and ultra battery saver mode. By the way, Poco M5 has many pre-installed apps from the box, such as Netflix, Opera, Amazon Shopping, Spotify, Booking, and others. There are even some games out of the box, such as Genshin Impact, Tile Fan, and Dust Settle. However, you can remove these apps if you want. Now let's test the performance of the new Poco smartphone. It is powered by a 6nm processor, MediaTek Helio G99. As already said, I have a model with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage, but the smartphone is also available in a version with 6GB of RAM and 128GB of internal memory. You know, I was very surprised to see 6nm processor in a budget smartphone, but also I am surprised by AnTuTu result of this phone, almost 320,000 points. It is very good for $150 smartphone. In Geekbench 5, Poco M5 smartphone has 549 points in the single-core test and 1924 points in the multi-core test. I have also launched 3D Mark benchmark and Wild live test. The overall score is 1242 points. By the way, Poco M5 has UFS 2.2 storage. The reading speed is 514 megabits per second, and the writing speed is 526 megabits per second. Okay, now Poco smartphone has a good benchmark results, but I think you are more interested in gaming performance. Let's play some games. Genshin Impact is already installed on smartphone, so let's start with that. By the way, I have already selected 90Hz refresh rate mode in the settings. You know, the graphics in these games are quite low. You can also see a little slowdowns. Overall, you can play Genshin Impact on Poco M5, but I was expecting better performance in this game. As for PUBG Mobile, we can see HD graphics and high FPS in the settings. It is also very comfortable to play PUBG Mobile on Poco M5. Finally, the latest game that I want to test on the new Poco smartphone is Call of Duty. Like the previous game, it runs very well. So Poco M5 doesn't have big problems with games, but I expect a better performance in Genshin Impact. Now we can talk about camera of the new Poco smartphone. There is a triple camera on the rear panel with 50 megapixels main sensor, 2 megapixels macro camera, and 2 megapixels depth camera. On the front panel, there is 5 megapixels camera. In the camera app, there are different shooting modes available, such as Pro, Documents, Video, Photo, Portrait, Night, and more. By the way, if you want to take 50 megapixels photos, you need to press on More and select 50 megapixels mode. In the photo settings, you can turn on/off watermark, smart suggestions, choose picture quality, change volume buttons functions, etc. In the video settings, we can choose a video recording resolution from 720p 30fps and 1080p 30fps. You know, I didn't find the image stabilization function in the settings, but I hope the smartphone has it. Now I want to show you the sample photos. First, I took some photos in a normal photo mode and 50 megapixels mode. To me, the pictures with 50 megapixels resolution look better. Do you agree? As already said, Poco M5 also has macro and depth cameras on the rear panel. The photos in portrait mode look pretty good. You know, it looks like the macro camera is not fake. The macro pictures are very nice. Five megapixels front camera is enough to take good selfies. If you want to take photos in low light conditions, then it is better to choose a night mode. The pictures in night mode are brighter and more detailed. Finally, let's watch some videos taken on Poco M5. Unfortunately, the smartphone doesn't have image stabilization, so the videos are a little shaky. However, they are good quality. By the way, I had cloudy weather when I tested the camera, and I think that in sunny weather the photos and videos quality will be even better. Now we can do a battery test of Poco M5. As usual, I will test the video playback time on a single charge. The videos play on YouTube via Wi-Fi as well as at maximum screen brightness. The battery life of the new Pocophone is 10 hours and 28 minutes. As already said, Poco M5 has 22.5 watt power adapter, but the smartphone supports 18 watt fast charging. You know, I have noticed that 1% of battery level charges in 1 minute. The full battery charge takes 2 hours and 16 minutes. As for the speaker of Poco M5, it is single and it is located at the bottom of smartphone. I would like the smartphone to have a dual speaker, but a single speaker of Poco M5 sounds good.
My dad, this is built on their shoulders. Hey, my man, can I help you? Let me get an autograph? No, I ain't signing no autographs, but you get off my car.
The new Poco smartphone has a slot for dual SIM, but they only support 4G network. You know, it is not a big problem for me, because there are no 5G networks in my country yet. But you should pay attention to this before buying the smartphone. There is also Bluetooth 5.3 and a dual-band Wi-Fi support. An important function of any smartphone for me is NFC. Poco M5 has NFC, so you can use it for contactless payments. So I have been testing the smartphone for about a week, and I can tell you what I like and dislike about it. Like the other Poco phones, the new Poco M5 has a nice design with leather-like texture and glossy plastic on the rear panel. I have a black color version, but the smartphone is available in a yellow color and I think it looks great. There's a fingerprint reader, 3.5mm audio jack, IR blaster, USB Type-C charging port, and a hybrid slot for dual SIM and microSD memory card in the new smartphone. The display of Poco M5 has a diagonal of 6.58 inches and Full HD Plus resolution. One of the main features of the new mobile device is 90 Hz refresh rate. The difference between 60 and 90 Hz is really visible, but don't forget that higher refresh rate wastes more battery power. You know, I agree that Poco M5 is a budget gaming smartphone because it has good benchmark results as well as good performance in games. You can play any games, and the smartphone will not slow down or heat up. I think Dimensity G99 is a good processor for a budget phone. The camera of Poco M5 has 50 megapixels main sensor, 2 megapixels macro sensor, and 2 megapixels depth sensor. I like the macro and portrait photos as well as pictures on the main camera. For a budget smartphone, the camera quality is really good. As for the battery of Poco M5, it has a capacity of 5000 mAh. The playtime on a single charge is very long, 10 hours and 28 minutes. The full battery charge takes about 2 hours and 16 minutes. I think it is a key for a budget phone with 18-watt fast charging support. You know, NFC is very important for me, and I am very glad that Poco M5 has it. Talking about drawbacks of the new Poco smartphone, first I want to mention the lack of 5G networks support. You know, it is not a big problem for me, because there are no 5G networks in my country yet. But if you need 5G support, then probably this phone is not for you. By the way, the previous Poco M4 Pro has a processor with 5G support. I also miss the wide-angle camera on the new Poco phone. Yes, there are macro and bokeh cameras, but I wished there was a wide-angle camera instead of those two. Perhaps the biggest problem of Poco M5 is the lack of video stabilization. You have to try hard to make good videos. By the way, I also do not understand why the smartphone has only single speaker. We know that many budget smartphones from Xiaomi and Redmi have dual speakers, but here there's only one. Overall, for the price of $150, Poco M5 is a good smartphone, especially for games, because it has a good performance, 90 Hz display and a big battery. Thank you for watching this video and subscribe to our channel Tech Brothers.